Hello viewers and welcome to the Science TV Crunch News. You are with me here, Videlis. We want to share with you the news that is happening in our country and internationally as well. And that is my sign name. Today, our sign language interpreter doing the voicing is Tobias Omondi. On to our first news item. President William Ruto has dismissed the opposition's one-term slogan, insisting that the 2027 general election will be decided strictly by delivery of services and rather than political catchphrases. He said that the Kenyan people will judge the leaders based on their fulfilled promises, not their campaign rhetoric, in what appeared to be a direct response to opposition leaders targeting his re-election. During his tour of Migori County on Wednesday, President William Ruto said that his administration is on development overdrive with projects in infrastructure, healthcare, and education. He pledged to present a scorecard before the voters in 2027, expressing his confidence in his record that will stand out. The president, at the same time, stressed his commitment to uniting the country and ensuring equal development for all regions. Ruto's visit to Raila Odinga's Nyanza stronghold is seen as an opposition bastion. His outreach has fueled speculation for a possible 2027 partnership with the ODM party, a move analysts say could shift political landscape.
Siasa imebadilika kwamba sasa siasa is no longer about slogans. It is now about issues. And the people of Kenya want to know from the leadership they have elected, what is it that they have done?
And this country is going to reward you handsomely. And I am proud that when the time comes for them to reward you, this community, this region, this area is going to reward you alongside them.
You have shown us a different friendship. I am not saying this because I'm Minister for Finance. I am saying this because I can see the way you relate with everybody in this country.
Na ndio mimi nawaambia wale watu wa chuki na wale wa ukabila, wale hawana agenda, wale hawana mpango, ya kwamba sisi ni watu wa kazi bila break.
Baba akisema left ni baba akisema right ni baba amesema tuko katika serikali ya broad base. Namna hiyo
ukifika area hii utapata mambo yamechacha. Bank iko very busy kwa sababu mheshimiwa rais watu wanalipwa pesa kila wiki. Na sasa umetuongezea ingine affordable housing, watu wameanza kazi kule.
Mkulima akilete miwa yake in 1 week alipo pesa yake 1 week. Na wasipolipa in 1 week munipatie habari. I will sort them out.
Wewe umesema yako report card hapa, sisi tunafuata hiyo report card. Sisi hatufuati mtu, tunafuata report card. Kwa hivyo kama una report card, wewe unaenda nyumbani.
As you've seen what the president has said, he believes that when the election time comes, then in 2027, he believes that his programs will speak for him, and that is what will give him the vote. He has confidence and he has faith in Kenyans that they will re-elect him. Let's wait and we shall see. Moving on to other news. Former Deputy President and then DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua is set to cut short his American tour, where he has been meeting with Kenyans who live in the diaspora in order to prepare for the Democratic Change Party for upcoming by-elections. The party has announced new plans to field candidates in all 27 by-elections that are scheduled for November this year, prompting Gachagua to reschedule visits to the remaining US states to early next year, 2026. His return comes amid concerns within the party that he could be arrested upon arrival here in Kenya over allegations of linking the government to business dealings with terror group Al-Shabaab.
Rallied our brothers and sisters abroad to prepare for active political participation and to return home to help rebuild this nation from the ruins of corruption and misrule. Thursday at 12 noon will be the return of our general. Their plan upon our party leader's arrival at JKIA is to abduct, intimidate, brutalize, and eventually place him under house arrest, cut him off from his supporters. The chairperson of the National Assembly Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee has revealed another calculated provocation, a plan to divert His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's flight to Mombasa or Kisumu International Airports.
You see, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, he suspects that there are going to be plans to abduct him when he arrives at the airport. And because of what he had said about the government having links with Al-Shabaab terror groups. We don't know what will happen, and that is maybe a political tactics and their political strategies. Moving on to other news. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has urged the National Assembly to relinquish the Constituency Development Fund, that's CDF, and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, that's NGAF, allocations, saying that the money should instead be directed to the counties in order to boost service delivery. Speaking at the devolution conference in Homa Bay, the ODM leader also accused national road agencies for hoarding resources, undermining the devolution goals. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, on his part, called for prudent use of resources, noting that the projects worth 20 billion shillings have stalled in various counties due to poor coordination between the successive administrations.
The only thing this system does is to pervert the role of the representative of the people and to deflect their attention from duties placed upon them by the Constitution. There's no need for somebody sitting in Nairobi called Kura who claims those roads as his roads. The same thing in Mombasa, Eldoret, Nakuru, and so on. It is unnecessary for Senate to be summoning governors to go to appear before senators in Nairobi. Only the public accounts and the public investment committees should summon not even governors, the chief executives of the county government.
My colleague from Garissa usually says being a governor is like working in a landmine. You have to buy your peace at every level. I don't think that is what devolution was meant to be, Your Excellency.
There are about 688 delayed projects across 34 counties, valued at about 24 billion Kenya shillings, 40 unutilized projects in 10 counties amounting to about 400 million Kenya shillings. These are issues that we need to look at.
Poor coordination and resource allocation now has brought a challenge and conflict as well. Money allocated needs to be equitably shared, and I believe that this devolution conference will have a positive outcome and impact for future, so that we can have better impact and have better resource allocation in the future. Moving on to other news. Chief Justice Martha Koome has firmly reiterated that the independence of the judiciary is non-negotiable, warning that it must be protected at all costs. She noted that this independence has repeatedly been tested through public attacks directed at judges and judicial officers, actions she says threaten the very foundation of the rule of law. Koome cautioned that such hostile rhetoric is reminiscent of a dark chapter in the country's history, when the authority of the courts was routinely undermined and judicial decisions openly disregarded. She stressed that no arm of government or public figure should attempt to intimidate or interfere with judicial processes. Speaking on Thursday during the annual Law Society of Kenya conference that was held in Diani, Kwale County, the Chief Justice urged political practitioners, civil society, and the public to stand firm in defending the judiciary, adding that its independence is a safeguard for the rights and the freedoms of all Kenyans.
My position has been unequivocal. Any party aggrieved by a judicial decision, even if it is the government, the executive, they must seek redress through appeals or reviews, not through defiance or verification of judges or judicial officers. No one has the right to choose which court orders to obey and which court orders to ignore. In instances where parties have been dissatisfied with bail and board terms imposed by the magistrates, they have swiftly moved to the High Court for review of those terms, and I'm happy to say the High Court has reviewed those terms to ensure fairness and proportionality on board terms.
Anticipatory bail is neither a Kenyan innovation granted on whims, nor does it amount to judicial endorsement of crime. The judiciary is a fact finder guided by the law and evidence, and not to be swayed by political sensationalism.
As Chief Justice, I have declared zero tolerance for corruption. The other day we launched a call center, and I sent one of the messages to run in our mobile app is that we don't take bribes, we don't ask for facilitation, and don't bring money to the judiciary. And if you ask for money, call this number. And I'm happy in this convening, we have many of our Gen Zs. We celebrate you, Gen Zs. I have admitted many of you to the bar. If you can stand, we recognize you. Gen Zs, they have no courage to stand. Please stand up.
As the Chief Justice has said, that we have to work together with the law, and we must make sure that we defend the justice system, because if it collapses, then the people will not be able to get justice anywhere. It protects the independence, and how they've warned politicians that everyone must follow the law, because the law is the governing body. Moving on to the next news item. The High Court in Kericho has temporarily barred the County Assembly from debating or from voting on the impeachment motion against Governor Eric Mutai. Chief Justice Sergon granted the orders after petitioners Wesley Ngeno, Victor Kipngetich Siele, and others argued that the process was initiated unlawfully. The case will be heard on the 25th of August 2025 to decide whether the suspension should continue. The motion, scheduled for debate in a special sitting on Friday, accuses Mutai of gross misconduct, abuse of office, and financial irregularities. An ADHOC committee of the Assembly linked his administration to questionable payments amounting to 85.7 million shillings, citing procurement without tendering, inflating costs, and missing documentation. This marks the second impeachment attempt after an earlier bid on the October 2024 collapsed for lack of the required 2/3 majority support. Moving on. The planned exhumation of bodies from the Kwabinzaro mass graves has been postponed to a date that is yet to be determined due to a shortage of personnel and equipment. The delay has sparked outrage among human rights groups at the coast, who have accused the government of dragging its feet in addressing the deaths. Activists say that the slow pace undermines justice for the victims and for their families. The graves, located near Shakahola, were identified 3 weeks ago, but the process of exhumation is yet to begin, despite the Ministry of Interior securing the necessary court orders.
Still dilly-dallying. No exhumation has commenced, nothing is happening on the ground. Yet, we are seeing bones being scattered all over. Hyenas digging up the bodies, dogs are digging up the bodies, and it is very undignifying. You know, in an African culture, to have dead bodies being dug up by wild animals, yet we have a government that is supposed to be working to ensure that these bodies are recovered.
Any attempt to bury these people in a mass grave, we will go to court and stop them. The government cannot tell us that they don't have money, or the process is difficult, or the process is expensive, because they have money to splurge everywhere. They have monies.
We understand kwamba kuna shida ya storage pale mili imeekwa, na we are in grief with the families that have lost their loved ones, kwamba bado hawajaweza kutoa mili na kupewa kwa familia zao, but that is the work of the government.
That's all the news we had today. You've heard everything that we've briefed you about. And as the previous news was saying, the exhumation process has taken a long time. We wonder when the families will be able to get the body. I hope the government is taking action soon. After the break, before the sports news, we'll have a short break and be back with more sports news. Stay tuned.